Hey guys, we're going to show you a BBSHD that we're working on. This one came back because it was making a grinding noise. So we opened it up to see if we could figure out what's wrong with it. And it looks like the first thing we tried was replacing controller. That didn't solve the problem. So then we opened it up and it looks like what happened was the customer had it open at some point and didn't get the seal put back on right. When I opened it up, the seal was already broken and it looks like water got in here. The grease is really a weird consistency, very watery. So I started going through it, and this is what it looked like when I pulled the stator out of the housing. You can see that obviously there was some moisture in here because there's rust going on. But we figured while we had it open, we'd show it to you guys because this is one of our favorite drives at Luna. And as you can see, it's all very nicely made, nice machining. And these are all the parts. You have your main gear, which rides on the bearing inside the case here, and it's all pressed together, and that's that part. And then inside of that, the axle rides on. Here's the axle, and normally this goes into here. There's a little clutch on here. You can see the little gears on the clutch that catch inside the main gear. And so that would go inside like that. And then there's a bearing down in here. Here's the inner bearing for the axle, the thrust bearing basically. And as you can see, it rides right down in here. There's a race right there for it to ride on. And then on the other side, on the axle, there's another race, so that it's trapped in between those two races when you put the axle back in. And then this is where the controller normally mounts, and you can see all of the connectors for the controller that plug in. And if we look at the other side, the nylon gear we already checked. We took this cover off to check that and it looked okay, so we put that back together. But all you do is take these 3 screws out. It helps to use an impact drill because these screws are very tight and it's really easy to strip them out if you're just using a regular screwdriver. And once you get that cover off, then there's a snap ring that you can remove and then pull the nylon gear out. And then normally the stator would be inside the housing, but we took it all apart to see what was going on. So as you can see, this would slide into here, and then the rotor right here with the pinion gear and a bearing on the other side would go through the stator, and then the bearing rides into here. So it goes right in there like that, and then it spins inside the stator when you provide power. And that's basically how the BBSHD system works.